Welcome back, ninja community and persons that have just become ninja enough to view my materials. In this video, I'm going to be covering some techniques, some basic techniques, and I've actually found out that I've been calling a technique wrong for like a long time. The technique, I've done it correctly. I just been using a different name. So I guess that goes to show that you know, no matter how long you've really been doing martial arts, you can still learn something new. So I will, or learn that you've been doing something different from everyone else. So to illustrate the technique, I will demonstrate it real quick. Okay, first you double over a chain, okay, and you do this motion here. Now I've been calling this a flail, right? Like an overhead striking flail. Okay, and then there's this other basic technique here where you just do this right here, right? Or it can do an alternative of this right here. So the technique goes here, right, and then here. And the variation, of course, is here and then here, right? And that, of course, is called, the official term for that technique, from what I understand, is a whip and nae nae. So again, that technique is a whip and then you nae nae. Okay. Now this technique is ambiguous with very many different weapons. So I will cover it with weapons that are also not fluid weapons, right? As like a comma and of course a sai. You know, a fluid weapon is basically one that kind of is like a chain, right? Kind of like a whip chain or an improvised whip chain. So I will break down alternative techniques or the basics of a whip and nae nae. So with a chain or a whip chain or even an nunchaku, it's the same movement. It is, set this here, it is first. Now if you're not familiar with those types of weapons, I suggest you probably, you know, do this at your own risk. Okay, I'm not responsible for your application of the technique of the whip and nae nae, or you'll just have to do it at your own risk. So a suggestion, of course, is when you're dealing with a nunchuck is to always pop the rope to make sure there's not a piece flying off in random directions. And of course that works into a different technique that is also called by a different name in the mainstream. So first check the rope, and then you start here as a whip, right? It's fairly simple. From here is a whip, and then that works into, you can break it down into another part where you just do this right here, this basic figure eight. Let's keep it simple here. So here you go. It's just moving back and forth like this, or working into here. Okay, but keeping it simple in the first variation is just a whip and then you nae nae. Okay, and with a whip chain, that looks like this. Remember to double the chain over when beginning. Okay, there you go. For proper technique of the whip and nae nae, at least from the form that I use. Okay, that is, beginning would be here is a whip and then you nae nae. And it's good to keep the arm back here, as keeping the elbow higher and the arm up in your guard area, the rear guard. Okay, so that is a whip and then you nae nae. Okay, so if you've watched the video so far, you should probably hit like, hard like a ninja, and subscribe to my channel to be alerted for when I do videos on YouTube. Okay, before I get into the other weapons, as they are oftentimes considered deadly, if not lethal weapons, depending on where you're at, I will go over my quality statement and disclaimer as I guess practice the Whip and Nae Nae. So the viewer understands my quality statement disclaimer video, additionally agrees that this video could be treated as is with ballistic protection, which short means it don't have a seal on it, therefore I don't guarantee the techniques and or your application of the techniques. And if you're watching my video with the intention of using any of its content in committing a crime with it, that is additionally a crime. Actually using any of my content in committing a crime is an additional crime. Okay, so covering some Whip and Nae Nae with some nunchaku. First is, once you have done this, then you nae nae, is that you shouldn't have to start this way anymore, as that is more working into beginner, right, for a Whip and Nae Nae. You could strike upwards like that, right? Strike upwards and then work into there as a flailing motion or a whip motion. A whip, and then you nae nae. Okay. And let's see, I have some other weapons here that I've done on some ninja arts and crafts. Like here is a set of nunchucks that I have been working on. This is a ridiculously large set of nunchucks that I made on some ninja arts and crafts. It is the same motion with no matter the size. Now this is most definitely not the right size of nunchucks. Okay, and it is very, very, very hard. So this is not a practice set. For details on this, I'll do another video. So the Whip and Nae Nae, whip, and then you nae nae. Now I also made another set of nunchucks on some ninja arts and crafts, and I went a little bit too far with these, okay? But it's the same technique. It is first a whip, and then you nae nae. Okay, so I'm going to do this with a comma. Now, in order for it to be a real shinobi technique, the movement or technique has to be ambiguous with various weapons without drastically modifying the movement. The concept of this is that if a real ninja was in a fight where there was obstruction of vision, like in utter darkness, or if they were using smoke, or they had like lost their eyesight during a fight, they would still be able to use the technique in a real fight, no matter what weapon it is, even if they like lost their weapon and took someone else's weapon. So using only one side in this demonstration, first with a comma, it's slightly modified without drastically modifying the movement, but it still comes from a whip, okay, and then you nae nae. So it's not as fluid because it's not a fluid weapon. The nae nae is more of a n. Okay, so moving on to a tonfa, and that's what this is. This is a tonfa. It doesn't have any ball bearings. It is originally a martial arts weapon. Okay. First you whip, okay, and then you nae nae. With a sai, and for techniques on the sai, you should probably check out my other videos. I do some pretty decent instructional videos for sai. Okay, for a sai, and there's the term for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them. It is both the singular and the plural. So for a sai, it would be a whip, and then you nae nae. Again, not a fluid weapon, so therefore it would be slightly modified without drastically modifying it, as it's more of a n instead of a nae nae. Okay, so again, that is a whip, and then you nae nae, or nae. So I suppose I will break down some other techniques that can be used with or in conjunction with a whip and nae nae. Okay, going back to a whip chain, is the overhead flail or the whip, right? And the variation of here, of Nae Nae, right, is simply striking upwards and then back up upwards again. I'll break that down for you at the side. Okay, so that is a whip, right? And then you Nae Nae, or from here is Nae Nae. Okay, and the first variation, of course, is a whip. Let's see, a whip, and then you Nae Nae. And this figure 8 is fairly easy to do. Okay, so you should probably feel free to comment on this video and subscribe. So like, comments, subscribe, share my video only with people who are ninja, but not with people who ought to be ninja, because they might accidentally learn something. And of course, you can check me out on Facebook under my artist name or my 10th ninja name, Mel-El. That's M-E-L-E-O. And subscribe to this channel to be alerted for when I do videos here. Oh, I also have an Instagram, but I'm not telling you what my Instagram name is. You'll just have to be ninja and go figure that out on your own. So until next time, stay ninja, my friends. Stay ninja.